Hey guys, it's Charlie, and you are watching Wednesdays on Our Pagan Opinions, and this week we are talking about the sun and the moon. It's a request from one of the viewers, Stargirl13, and she wants to know which do we feel most comfortable with, which calls to us most, the sun or the moon, and basically our thoughts on that. So for me personally, just right off the bat, I'm definitely more of a solar-driven being. I'm what I associate with the sun being more active, assertive, more masculine, more action type. You know what I'm talking about. I'm more aligned with the sun. So in that kind of aspect, I guess I would say the sun if I had to choose one. But really, I appreciate both, and I recognize and acknowledge both for what they are and for what they have to offer. Now, I don't worship the sun and the moon, and when I think of God and Goddess, I don't see the God as being literally the sun or the Goddess being literally the moon, and I think I've touched on this in other topics. But for me, I guess the sun and moon themselves are just symbols for certain things and reminders. And if I really stop and think about it and think about, you know, like which one calls to me most, is it the sun? If I think of a day of just, or maybe a week, where it's just like 24 hours of sunlight, or maybe even just 20 hours of sunlight, where it's just that much sunlight all day long, every single day, I would be so sick of the sun. I would be so sick of the sun. And the same thing if the sun didn't shine at all, like you miss the sun after a while. Like in the winter, you start kind of getting the winter blues. So it's really all about the balance and the fact that the sun and the moon complement one another. And even the moon itself and the phases of the moon, which do I feel more called to, the full moon or the new moon, I think that the fact that there are the different phases of the moon, that they really complement one another. And I really do believe that there can be too much of a good thing, and that's why we have balance. That's why we have night, so that we are able to relax and rest from all the activity of the day. And the reason we have day is so that we're able to get things done, and it's, for me at least, a symbol of life. So it's all really about balance. So I guess I can't really choose one over the other. Which do I work with more often? I don't know. That's pretty even for me too, because I'll work with certain moon phases if I need to, if I have time to. Most of the things that I do are on a whim. I don't plan ahead, like, oh, I mean, if there's something like really big coming up, then I might plan something for it. But I don't say, I have to do a health spell soon. Let me check my calendar and make sure that all the moon is where it needs to be, and it's ruled by certain planets, and the sun is in the right sign, and all of this. Like, I don't do that. But the timing of it, when I do work with it, or when I am cognizant of it, it's pretty even too, because I might use certain times of the year, aka certain sun times and solar times, for certain purposes. And then also throughout the month I might use certain lunar times or lunar phases or magical timing as far as the moon goes in that way. So that's my answer. I guess both equally, but I'm definitely more solar driven, and if I have to think about it in a split second, I do connect more with the sun, but I definitely understand, acknowledge, appreciate, and honor the beauty of both the sun and the moon and the purpose of both the sun and the moon. And I couldn't focus my practice on just one. I know a lot of people devote their practice just to the moon. I wouldn't be able to do that. And likewise, I wouldn't be able to devote my practice just to the sun. It's all about honoring both, the balance of the sun, the moon, the light, the dark, the active, the passive, the life, the death, the energy, the rest. So, alright, I will talk to all of you soon, later, whatever. I love you all. Blessed be.